Hello, this is Chris. Chris is a software developer who wants to join an open source project. Therefore, he decides to check the project's website to get some information on how he can contribute and to familiarize himself with the particular processes in that project. However, in case he do not find such information, he may get distracted and won't join the project eventually. Since this can be an issue, we particularly analyzed how community websites of 25 Unix-like distributions provide such information on how you can contribute to that project. These are my colleagues Jacob Krüger and Robert Heumüller, as well as me, Sebastian Niederburg. Software development, in particular in open source development, is conducted in communities. Such communities encompass members from all around the world, and they produce software with an increasing size and complexity. There are many motivational characteristics to join such communities, as well as many barriers. For example, some motivational characteristic would be the increase in social capital. For example, that somebody identifies with a certain project, or that this has some benefits for his personal or her personal career. However, there's also a prevalent gender bias in such communities, as well as technical issues that can hinder developers. Moreover, we have seen that knowledge sharing can also be a negative factor and leads to non-joining the community, as well as many more. In this paper, we are particularly interested in the knowledge sharing issue, and here we first ask, how do communities provide contribution information on their websites that were publicly available without any registration? And based on this information, what do developers get as information on how they can contribute? Moreover, we had a deeper look onto the feature development practices as well as bug reporting practices. We did that based on a qualitative study based on the textual parts on the websites of 25 Unix-like distributions. We selected these distributions based on the website DistroWatch, which collects information on different Unix-like distributions. And we selected the 25 highest ranked distributions in 2018 based on the hits per day metrics, which is a kind of metrics measuring the interest in some certain distributions. Then the first order collected information on how you can contribute to that project and whether the distribution is still active. He found some websites and provided a textual summary on the information, how the community provides information on how you can contribute to answer research question 1. Then the second order used this textual summary and conducted an iterative open card sorting to classify the different types of contributions to answer research question 2. Based on this classification, we identified 2 different parts of possible contributions in an open source project, namely the development strategies and the quality assurance. And within these contribution types, we analyzed the feature development and the bug reporting practices. We did that based on an open card sorting process where all 3 authors read through the websites, identified certain strategies, and also extended the websites, providing further information on development strategies and quality assurance. And this was done in an iterative manner until saturation. Regarding the information provisioning, we found that many community websites do not have unrestricted access to that contribution information, with only 13 from 25 websites providing that information. And only more than half have a centralized collection or an overview of different contributions to that project. So the others have some scattered information. However, we do not found any certain strategies how this information should be provided or some similarities among different communities. Regarding the contribution types, we found that there could be non-technical contributions as well as technical contributions, and we found also information on communication and tools for contributing. We found that non-technical contributions were very actively documented, and this encompasses ideas on donating to projects, also to enhance the documentation as well as translating documentations to different languages, to promote the software, to organize events for all contributors, as well as to create designs. Regarding technical contributions, we found that they are less formally documented than the non-technical contributions. However, we found information on the feature development and versioning, on how to deploy software, on how to report bugs, how reviews are conducted, and how you can become a tester or how the software is tested. Regarding the communication channels, we found that there are many different channels used in the community. For example, instant messengers, social media, wikis, discussion boards, mailing lists, and so on. We also found that these are usually used in parallel, so you might also not find the information on one centralized communication channel, but this information can be scattered among all these different channels. For example, you may find certain bug reports on mailing lists, but also in an issue tracker, which kind of hinders the retrieval of existing bug reports. Regarding the development practices, we found that many communities document their deployment process, which can be seen as a characteristic of Unix-like distributions, because these software products mainly consist of different packages that have to be compiled and built in a certain manner, for example, as a kind of nightly builds. Moreover, we found information on feature requests, so a process how you can request certain features, and also, for example, a list of features that won't be implemented by the community. Most information we found on the feature development and the versioning. Here in particular, we found information on how which version system is used. Some communities also have some certain tool recommendations, for example, a certain IDE to be used, or different libraries and packages that help to develop certain features. Moreover, they also gave some information on the restrictions and privileges for certain developers. For example, if developers implemented a set of features, they become more mature and maybe get more privileges to, for example, commit certain features. They also give information on the coding conventions and some necessary skills of developers, not only technical skills, but also soft skills like speaking English or certain code of conducts. Regarding the quality assurance, we found in some communities information on the review process, information on the testing process and how to become a tester. And for most communities, we found information on the bug reporting process. This mainly was information on the issue tracker and how to report bugs, but also how to deal with foreign bugs. For example, if one distribution is a child distribution from a certain base distribution, for example, Ubuntu is a child distribution from Ubuntu, then some bugs may not belong to Lubuntu, but to Ubuntu, and therefore these bugs should be reported in the issue tracker of Ubuntu. There's also some information on the search engine in issue trackers to avoid double reports of bugs, as well as financial incentives to for developers to fix certain bugs, as well as information on how a bug report, which content should be reported in a bug report, as well as information on automated tools to collect such bugs. To conclude, we found many inaccessible and non-publicly information on how you can contribute to a project. Moreover, these information can be scattered among different communication channels, and we found more information on non-technical contributions than for technical contributions, and here we mainly found information on feature development and bug reports. For the further work, we want to study what are the reasons for the non-available information and to provide automated support for the community for better codifying such processes. This closes my talk. You find our replication package on Zenodo and the preprint on our website. And now I'm happy to take your questions.